This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Don MacMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first two guests today are both here to talk about Alpena County Fair. I have Caitlin Borky and Lynn Borky. Good morning, ladies, and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you.
Lynn, I'm going to start with you about the fair. It's been a few years since anyone from the Fair Board has been on this show, and I just want to thank you for coming. And I want to thank you and your entire committee, because I can't even imagine how much work must go into doing a 4-H county fair in Alpena, trying to make the 4-H people happy, the county happy, the people that are coming to the fair happy, and getting everything done on time. What a tremendous task.
There will be some sleepless nights coming up, but the neat thing is, and I remember somebody once on Fair Board saying, I'll let you know when that moment hits, when you know why I do this. And every once in a while, this is one of those moments, when you see the looks on the kids' faces, it's just an incredible feeling. Not only the kids who are showing their animals, who are getting that coveted blue ribbon, but also the kids on the rides. It's just a wonderful feeling.
You know, we truly have a county fair. We have the homemakers, we have the vendors, the merchants, the people that come out. You see a little bit of everything when you go to the fair.
We've been to a lot of different fairs in Michigan showing their animals. The neat thing that I will tell anybody about Alpena and our county fair is that every child in the city of Alpena can get there. It's not like it's out in the country where they have to wait for a ride. It's on their doorstep, so they can come down. A lot of kids don't understand where their food comes from, and this is a great way for them to learn that.
It is. So Caitlin, what are the dates of the fair?
It starts July 30th, and then it goes through August 6th.
Okay, and you having been a 4-H person in the past, how important is a county fair for 4-H kids?
The two most important dates in my year would be Christmas and then Fair Week. That's how it goes. So the county fair is so important to me, and to see people who support it, like the Fair Board, and like the people who come and go on the rides, see the animals, and do all the activities, it really... It brings me back to my childhood, and it's what makes Alpena what it is, I think.
Okay. Now, Lynn, I know you have some wonderful community partners that we want to make sure we mention.
We've done a couple of new things this year. In the past, we've hired the free children's acts to come in and entertain the kids. And this year, we thought, why send that money out of town? So Caitlin said, we could get Thunder Bay Theater. And so we've hired them to put on an interactive children's show.
Thank you. Perfect. Okay, what other activities are going to be taking place, and what day will Kids' Days be so that they can get in free with the wristbands?
Wednesday is the first Children's Day, and that's the one that another community partner, the Horsemen's Club, sponsors free rides for kids 12 and under.
You know, they do fundraising all year so that they can offer Alpena kids, anyone in the area kids, a chance to come free and ride the rides.
It is a wonderful partnership. We also have another Kids' Day on Saturday.
Okay.
Ronald McDonald will be there on the Wednesday Kids' Day.
Okay.
And also WATZ is sponsoring Pop with a Cop on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
So lots of fun things are happening. Another new thing that we're doing this year is Alpena Has Talent. We'll start out at 5 o'clock with 4-H Has Talent for our 4-H kids to highlight what they do so well. And then at 7 o'clock, we'll be doing Alpena's Got Talent. And so it depends on how long each act is. We'll try and put on a 3-hour show, so however many acts it takes to fill that time up.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, now what about the animal days where people come and bid on all the animals? What day is that? That's the most exciting day.
That is the culmination of the whole project year for those kids.
Yes.
It's Caitlin's last year.
What animal will you be showing?
I'll be showing quail and rabbits.
Ooh, okay, quail. That's a different one. All right.
That will be Friday at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So I hope everybody comes down for that. Even if you don't want to bid, just come and support the kids.
And one thing about the Alpena community is they always bend over backwards to support that event.
They truly do.
So I look forward to seeing all the pictures in the Alpena News and see which kid who bought what. Oh, there it is. It's always exciting. And I know here at WVKB, I know that we'll be involved and we're covering all the events too. Okay, now I want to turn the page just a little bit. Caitlin, you were doing a children's choir in Alpena. Tell me about that.
That is correct. I started my first year at Western Michigan University as a music education major, and I realized that something that we don't have in Alpena is a children's choir. Kids don't even have the opportunity to start choir until they hit 7th grade. And during those early years, it's where you learn language the best, it's where you learn math the best, and the same is with music. So I thought, why not bring a choir to Alpena? And the kids, we have 24 kids, and they are incredible. You know, I picked music that was actually very, very hard for them, and I realized that on the first week. But I said, you know, I have faith in you guys. You're all very intelligent, and you're all very dedicated as well. And 3 weeks away from the concert right now, we're looking in good shape.
Now the concert is Sunday, August 7th.
That is correct.
What time?
It starts at 6 p.m., and it is at First Congregational United Church of Christ, and that's right downtown.
Okay, and we'd like to encourage people to come because you're going to do a really cool thing with drums.
Yes. One of our songs is an African drumming song, and it's called Funga Alafea, which means welcome. And it's only about a 30-second melody, so I asked the kids to do arrangements with drums and other instruments and audience participation and clapping, so it'll be a good time.
Okay, now if anyone would like to get more information about that, how could they contact you?
We do have a Facebook page,
okay.
So if you type into the Facebook search bar or even into Google, Sunrise Side Summer Children's Choir, then that should be coming up.
Okay, and Lynn, we have about enough time again to tell us the dates of the fair.
Caitlin, go ahead.
July 29th.
July 30th.
30th.
That's the Sunday. That's when all the animals come in.
Okay.
And then on Wednesday, that's when our carnival starts. And
Our
then
carnivals start Tuesday.
Tuesday is when our carnival starts.
We'll get it right here, okay.
And then it goes until Saturday, August 6th.
Okay, and people have to buy a pass to get in at the gate. And
One of the things that we did a few years ago was put up, I'm sorry, the fence around the grandstand. It's only $2 to get in. Parking is free. And then if you don't want to see the animals, if you just want an elephant ear,
okay,
and you want to go to the show, then you can pay to get into the grandstand. If you don't want to see the grandstand events, then everything else is right there.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. What a good idea.
And I would like to mention one more community sponsor we have, and that is Friends Together of Alpena.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are doing a new thing this year, which is putting on a 5K at the fair.
Yeah,
and
I've heard about that.
Yeah, the proceeds go to both the Alpena County Fair and Friends Together, and we thought it would be a great idea to give them the space, the venue, and the event to put it on, and the volunteers as well. So it's...
And what day will that be?
That will be August 6th, so
Okay.
on a Saturday. And registration will start at 8 a.m.
Okay.
And the race starts at 9.
Okay. Thank you both very much for being here.
Thank
And
you
once
for having
again,
us.
please extend our congratulations and thanks to the entire board for all that you're doing to make sure that we have a wonderful fair.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll be right back following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last two guests today are both from the Great Lakes Stewardship Initiative. I have Meaghan and Danny. Welcome and good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning to you as well. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for being here, and I'm so excited. As we were talking before we start taping, I never even had an idea that you folks were in town, all the wonderful things you're doing. So Meaghan, start us out about the Great Lakes Stewardship Initiative.
So we're actually a regional hub of the Great Lakes Stewardship Initiative. We're the Northeast Michigan Great Lakes Stewardship Initiative. And what
Okay.
that is, it's a network of education and community partners. And we work together with students and teachers to protect the Great Lakes with hands-on learning projects.
Now, you just finished up a project where you brought teachers in, and what kind of stuff did you teach teachers?
Well, Danny can speak a little bit more about
Okay,
what
Danny.
happened during the BioBlitz.
Yeah, so as part of the BioBlitz, we had a professional development opportunity for educators that were interested in building in aspects of this biodiversity and ecosystems curriculum. And they also got to participate in the day where they got to go out and explore using this app called iNaturalist and log the biodiversity in the area. And the idea is that we're giving teachers these tools that they can take back to their schoolyards in hopes of educating students and community about the importance of biodiversity and what they can do to contribute to the logging of that biodiversity or keeping track of it. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
And I know you have another project coming up.
Yes, we do. So on July 29th, we're partnering with the Summer Movies by the Bay. and the Thunder Bay Film Society to host the documentary Bag It, Is Your Life Too Plastic? And this film, it's freely available to community members and education partners through the Meaghan Network. That's another way of saying Northeast Michigan Great Lakes Stewardship Initiative. It's a little shorter.
Yes.
Yes. But we're hosting this showing of this documentary, and as part of that, we're having a trash art contest. So there will be prizes available. It's open to K through 12 students, but also adults as well. And basically, you can make art from anything. It just has to be from trash, be it recyclable or non-recyclable items. And the art piece has to be 90% trash.
Ah, well, you gave me an amazing statistic that's really hard to swallow, but you said by 2050, there'll be more plastic bags in the Great Lakes than there will be fish.
Well, in our oceans.
In our
That's
oceans.
what they estimate. If we continue our
Amazing.
current consumption, there'll be more plastic than fish in our oceans. So it's definitely something to be conscious of and think about all the ways that we can reduce. And through the Meaghan Network, we have a lot of students here locally that are raising awareness about the impact of plastic in their local environments. So at Thunder Bay Junior High, they complete adopted beach cleanups, where they clean up area beaches, but in addition to cleaning up the beaches, they also do data tallies and find out what is the biggest litter problem, and it's actually cigarette butts.
I believe that.
Since 2012, they've picked up more than 10,000 cigarette butts just on our city beaches. Another school, All Saints Catholic School, they completed audits in their cafeteria where they tracked how many single-use plastics there were, and then they educated their whole school on the impact of plastic on our Great Lakes. And they challenged the entire school to reduce their plastic use. So they went from over 1,500 single-use plastic items the first week to less than 900 the second week.
Oh my goodness, that makes quite an impact.
It really
cool.
does.
Okay.
So there's lots, with our network, there's just lots of different projects, but then there's also lots of different community partners that are involved, like Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary, Huron Pines AmeriCorps, so many different community partners, also Michigan State University Extension and Michigan Sea Grant. So it's a great showing of all of the community involvement and how much all of us are passionate about our Great Lakes and all the ways that we can protect them through hands-on learning projects.
Okay, now Danny, you're actually a Huron Pines AmeriCorps member,
Right.
so how did you get to join the team?
How did I join the team? So the Huron Pines program has an AmeriCorps program that's part of this federal AmeriCorps program.
Okay.
And what they do is they place individuals, 23 this year, in different community organizations or partners across northern Michigan. And I wanted to join the Great Lakes Stewardship Initiative, so there's a bit of a process that goes into
Sure.
it, but I moved from Lansing here to join the team.
How
And
exciting.
So each AmeriCorps member serves about a year, 10 months to a year, and it's a service position. So you receive a stipend and an education award once you complete your service, but the idea is that they are placing individuals in these communities to hopefully provide a service that betters the community.
Okay, so once school gets started, will we be going back to classrooms again? Do you have projects like that?
Yes, we have lots of different projects planned for the fall, from students completing invasive species removal, to doing water quality monitoring, to investigating plastics on area beaches, continuing the Adopt a Beach program, monitoring the migration of monarch butterflies.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
So there's lots of different projects that are coming up, and to prepare teachers for the fall, we actually are hosting a Lake Huron Place-Based Education Summer Teaching Institute, where teachers will come for 4 days, and we have teachers coming from Detroit area, from another hub in the Great Lakes Stewardship Initiative, the Flint area, another hub in the Great Lakes Stewardship Initiative, and then also the Grand Traverse area.
Wow.
And then we'll all be coming together in Oscoda, Michigan, where they'll get to network with other teachers from our network here locally, the Meaghan Network. And then they'll learn about place-based education, which is that model that we promote where it really connects students to their local place, but it also gets to connect to classroom learning goals. So that's the end of the day. It's a great way to integrate classroom goals outside an environment to have great benefits for our local community. And in exchange for attending this 4-day professional development, the teachers get $500 that they can take to the school, to develop a place-based education project. So it's a really great opportunity to gain content skills and also get hands-on learning approaches, and then also have funds to help develop these kind of projects.
Now, are you full already? Don't have room for any more teachers, or?
The registration is still open, so
Okay.
you can go onto our website, nemiglsi.org, to find more information about the Summer Institute. So we still are accepting applicants right now.
Okay, and you know, as we talked while we were taping too, to me it's so exciting because I've lived here all my life, always just taken the Great Lakes for granted, the rivers, the streams, our forests, everything that we have. And having Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary come here and all the ancillary businesses, services, events that have happened in our community as a result of this, it's just amazing.
It really is, and it's a great way, I think, to have people connect to. I mean, here we have the only freshwater national marine sanctuary in the country.
I know.
And we're really privileged, and it highlights how important the Great Lakes are and why it's important to preserve and protect the cultural resources, but also the natural resources that are found within the Great Lakes. It's an amazing resource, and we're so lucky to have 20% of the world's fresh water in our backyards.
I know, and then with the expansion project and all the bigger area that we have, it, I mean, I know people come here from all over the world to dive the shipwrecks, to go to the sanctuary, to come to the film festival, to do the things, and it's just that are all associated with the Great Lakes. And like I said before, we had them, we took them for granted, and I think it's really an awakening. And I know, like, my grandchildren, don't do that, Grandma, we can't do that, and you know, and you hear about things that you never even would have thought about before. So it's working, the education is working, and you know, thanks for all of your hard work and everyone, you know, with the initiative and here on Pines and the Heritage Center too. It's really great that all these things are happening in our community.
I agree. I think the power of a network of all different individuals working towards the same goal of protecting the Great Lakes, it's really empowering for our community. And it's also really empowering for students to see that what they're doing in their classroom, outside of the classroom, can have a direct impact. And they don't need to have to wait 10 years from now to be leaders. They can be leaders in their community today.
Very good. Okay. Well, I want to thank both of you very much for being here, and congratulations on all the good work that you're doing in our community, and just keep it up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please stay tuned for Dr. Don MacMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don MacMaster. I'm president of Alpena Community College, and we're delighted to have back with us David Cummins, who's our marine tech instructor at ACC. He's just come back from 3 weeks on the Nautilus, working with world-renowned researchers and maybe the most famous researcher of all, Dr. Robert Ballard. David, welcome back.
Well, thank you so much, Son. It seems good to be back home here in Alpena.
I hate to ask you such an open-ended question, but tell me, what did this experience mean to you?
Oh, just amazing experience. And I think one of the greatest ones for me is to have experience on the exploration side. One of the things I got to learn is the difference between exploration and research. Even though there's lots of research vessels out in the world, there's only about 3 exploration vessels in the world. And that is the one I was on, the Nautilus, the Okeanos Explorer, which is owned by NOAA, and then the Falcor, which is founded by the developers of Google.
Oh.
And those are it for exploration. What sets exploration different than research, typically a research vessel is going to take a theory or hypothesis, and they'll go out and gather evidence to prove or disprove that theory or hypothesis. Where exploration vessel's main mission is to go where humans have not gone before and find new questions for science to answer, new questions to study, for eventually, hopefully, that research vessels will come back and explore in more detail.
That is amazing. And so you were on a vessel that went out and explored areas of the ocean floor.
Yes.
The geology, the fish and aquatic life that had never been explored before.
Yes. So our original plans were to, I joined it in San Francisco. Originally started out in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, and worked its way down the coast to San Francisco, where I joined the crew. And then we were going to do a bunch of work off of San Francisco, work our way down the coastline. And unfortunately, Mother Nature had some different plans for us. So we hit some high waves and winds. So we ended up finding a safe area in the Santa Barbara Basin, which is supposed to be the end of our trip. So amazing crew. We figured out some new areas to explore. And what we ended up doing for about 3 weeks was look at what's called OMZs, or oxygen minimum zones. And these are areas where there's very little oxygen in the water, and where science originally thought there would hardly be any life. And we found tons of life. And what I thought was more amazing, one of the lives we were looking for is microbacterial mats. And we had leading professor of this from Harvard University on board, helped me study it, and found out we have that right here in Alpena.
Really?
Right off of Middle Island, there's a sinkhole where actually this week there's researchers studying these microbacterial mats that live in this low oxygen level. So it's neat to see how some of this relates right back to our home community here in Alpena, but I ended up having to go all the way across the continent out in the Pacific Ocean to learn a little more about it.
That is neat. So you were with a crew of researchers.
Yes.
And you were led by Dr. Robert Ballard.
Yes, what we call on the Nautilus is the Corps of Exploration, which is made up of 17 crew members that keep the ship going and keep us well fed.
Yeah, good.
And then we have up to 31 scientists, and most of the work I was doing, we had around 20 scientists, and those are PhD instructors and professors, all the way down to graduates, from undergrads to master graduates. They're working on getting more experience and getting in the field.
That's just amazing. So you were a couple hundred miles off the coast of California, looking at areas that had never been seen before. You saw some interesting geologic formations, I understand, and some very interesting aquatic life.
Yeah, what I thought was really amazing is how they were using the ROVs. Definitely, me as the tech instructor, it's the ROVs I'm always interested in. And our deepest dive was the San Juan Seamount, which was this old extinct volcano predicted between 2 to 17 million years ago. And it had been explored a little bit before, but never on the side we were. So we were the first one to see these beautiful pillow lava flows and all this life down here, again, oxygen minimum zone, and explore all these regions, being the first ones to ever see it. And a lot of it amazing is we'd pull some samples, but also another big part of the documentation is the video the ROV takes.
Yes, which we saw some of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And our viewers can check out on nautiluslive.org. There's some highlight reels, and you probably, unfortunately, hear my voice in the background talking too.
No, unfortunately, about it. We have done that. We enjoyed it. You told me a beautiful story, and I'd like to get it on the air about being amidst whales and sea lions and dolphins.
Yeah, mine was near the end of the trip, and I was debating in bed, thinking about, boy, they're going to be pulling up the ROV soon, and I haven't seen them pulled up at night. So I started debating, boy, should I get up and watch them? So I ended up putting back on all my clothes, taking out my pajamas, heading up on deck, and wow, what a delight. As the ROV Hercules lights were shining in the water, we could see sea lions playing in the lights, and we heard this noise just off to the port of the ship of the whales blowing. And they started getting closer, and all of a sudden they took the spotlights on them, and the whales were right beside the EV Nautilus, and just amazing treat. Have all this life there with its lights in the dark, and I don't ever regret not getting too much sleep that night.
That sounds magical. Yeah, and there were events like that happened during the entire 3 weeks of different sorts.
Oh, amazing. I didn't even realize, being mainly here from the Great Lakes, how unique it is to have all this life in the water. To me, that was a treat. And we got so used to having whales always by the ship and dolphins, and finding out that we just happened to be in the Channel Islands National Marine Sanctuary during this large migration of whales, and how rare this actually was. But we got used to looking out in the back of the ship and seeing like 30 whales blowing on their spouts and having the dolphins playing, and found just the timing we had that was so unique.
Wonderful. Well, David, we could go on for another couple shows, and we may do just that if you're available. Thank you. It's great to have you back. Great experience. Thank you, folks, for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your hosts, Nancy Smitham and Don MacMaster. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on the community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.
The Talk of the Town furniture and set design are provided by Young Appliance Art Van Furniture on US 23 South in Alpena.